What's up guys, Shawnthebro here, and in today's episode we are going to start our journey on achievements in our fighting game tutorial series. So achievements are something I absolutely love, and basically when you complete a task or do something spectacular, you can get a reward from it. Achievements like this can be part of the software itself. So in our case, it could be from our game, or it could be from the platform we're running it on, such as Xbox, PlayStation, PC. However, in this case specifically, I want to be going over achievements in our game. So as you see, when I launch my game, I get an achievement. Now, in this particular episode, we're just making the UI for this and the little pop-up, so we can actually trigger when we want to unlock the achievement, what the name of it's going to be, and all this good stuff. But ideally, we can make the requirements whatever we want, spawn this pop-up whenever we want, and then save the data so that next time we come into the game, we know that achievement has still been unlocked. It doesn't get reverted, it gets saved with the rest of our behavior. So in this case, the achievement that we're unlocking is just for starting the game. So we would only want it to pop up the first time that we start the game. Now I have another widget in here that I call achievement tile, and this is going to be the achievement name with the description of the achievement as well. There will also be an icon. So that little green fist that you're seeing here is the icon of the achievement, but you can make it whatever you want. It should be representative of the achievement, or maybe some cool art that you want to give to the player for getting that achievement. So we're going to fill out the achievement tile and the unlock notification today. That way in the next episode, when we go over saving out unlocked achievements and requirements for achievements, we don't have to worry about any of this. We can go straight into the logic for it. Now, before you hop into this episode, you might want to check out the entire fighting game tutorial series and see everything that we've done with our series so far, from our hitboxes to our menus and whatever else you may be interested in. If you do want to check those out, I'll link this playlist right here in the top right corner. Alternatively, if you want to check out how to convert your fighter to Unreal Engine 5 if you're still using Unreal Engine 4 and you would like to convert, I'll link you to this episode right here. We just did this. All these episodes work in both Unreal Engine 4 and Unreal Engine 5, but if you'd like to convert, here's a simple way to do so. And with that out of the way, we can go ahead and get started. So today's episode is going to be just a design for the achievement, so it's going to be blueprint only. So I'm going to go to where I make my widgets, and specifically I'm going to go to my menus folder because these achievements can pop up at any point. You could have achievements tied to menus such as watching the credits the whole way through, launching the game for the first time, unlocking a certain amount of cosmetics from the store, anything like that. But you also could have achievements pop up in the middle of the match if you wanted. So you could mark it as part of your HUD, but I'm just going to have it in the menus because they can pop up anywhere. I want to make a new widget, so I can hit Add, User Interface, and then select Widget Blueprint right here. I'm going to make one called Achievement Tile. So once you call it Achievement Tile, click into here, then you can set up all the information about it. Right now, I've made it very simple. There was a canvas panel on here because I created this widget in Unreal Engine 4 right before the conversion. But if you are doing this in Unreal Engine 5, you might not have this default canvas panel. That's perfectly fine. You can always add one if you want. It's not even required that you have one, but I do like having one. I think it's nice for organization. So you can just search for canvas panel and drag it to your widget. I actually added a different one anyway, right here. That way I could manage all of the information about this achievement within this little panel. This bigger canvas panel is basically the size of my viewport. So I'm just using this to determine where this pop-up is going to appear. You definitely don't need to do it this way. There are plenty of ways you can do it. But for example, with the way I've set it up, I can anchor this canvas panel to say the bottom right. Then I can change my offsets and my alignment to make the achievement tile appear down here. Now for this case, this isn't my actual notification. This is my tile that's going to be on a screen, like my achievement screen. So I went ahead and reverted all that, but I'm just showing you the purpose of a canvas panel and why I ended up making it like I did. These two canvas panels don't really have anything special. You can take a look at my settings, but really you're just going to set this up for the look and feel that you want. You don't have to follow anything that I'm doing specifically here. So there are my canvas panels. Next we'll go to our icon. This is the icon of the achievement. So this is just an image. It's under common here, but you can also search for it. And I just added it to my canvas panel. I've called it the achievement icon image, and I made sure it's a variable because we want to be able to change this image based on what achievement it is that we're looking at. For the anchor, I left it as the top left, and then here are my positions and sizes to get this exact result. I didn't give it a default brush, but you could give it a default image. And there you go. Pretty simple, just a regular image. The next thing we did is add a text box. The text box represents the achievement name, so whatever the name of the achievement is, we want to display it here. Simple enough. We can drag a text element onto the canvas panel as well. I called this one achievement name text, and I made sure that it was a variable. I anchored this one to the center, and here are my positions and sizes and alignment. You don't have to change these things. Remember, it is up to you for your design, but this is how I wanted it to look. I wanted it positioned in the center, taking into account the image, so the text was not overlaying the image. And so this is what I came up with. I also gave it a default name of achievement name. So the text in here will just say achievement name when we're on the widget, but of course this will be updated with the actual name of the achievement. Then I made the size of the font 36 and gave it an outline size of 4, just to make it pop a little bit more. Gave the justification centered, that way it displays in the middle. And there you go. Now, I also had this achievement description text right here. So another text box that I added to the canvas panel called achievement description text. It's another variable. This is going to be the description of the achievement. It could be how to unlock it or a special message you want to relay to the user once they do unlock it. I did anchor this one to the top center again, and here are my position, sizes, and alignments. Then I gave it the default text of the description of how to unlock this achievement/trophy, and I made sure it was long enough so that I could test what the wrapping would look like, because I want the text to automatically wrap if it's too long. Again, here's my sizes and outline settings, justification. You'll see I've selected auto wrap text, so I've checked it to make sure it's true. And there you go. Lastly, we have our achievement background. This is just the background of that little achievement tile. It's not required that you have this one either. But I wanted to have a little background image, so I just made this one black. That way it wasn't transparent, and colors from the background of the menu would be disrupting the flow of the text. Maybe you couldn't see anything because the colors were contrasting, so I just added this image here. So image to the canvas panel. For this one, the anchor is set to full, this guy right here. This means it will stretch to fit the size of the parent element, which is the canvas panel. So it's filling up the entire canvas panel. And here are my offsets, all 0, so that it just fills this entirely. I gave it a Z order of -1, so it appears behind the image and the text. I set the color and opacity to black, which is 0001. And the rest can be left alone. I did make this one a variable as well, if you want to change it for different achievements. So it had different backgrounds for different achievements, maybe based on rarity. You could absolutely do that. I'm not doing anything with that today, but something we can absolutely look into. All right, and now in here, we're going to make this very simple. We are going to bind each of these to a variable that comes in and is set as soon as the widget is created. So if we go to the graph, I'm going to use my event construct to set the text and the brush of these images. And it's very simple. We're going to get event construct. And once you have this, we want to grab our achievement name text and get that. And then we want to drag off of it and type set text. Set text, in parentheses, text, right here. Then we want to do the same thing for the achievement description text, as you see I've done here. And lastly, we want to set our image, our icon for our achievement. So we can get the achievement icon image and type set brush. And that's what you see right here. Now, what I'm passing in are 3 variables that I'm going to make right now. So for the text, we want to make text variables. It's very simple. So we can press plus variable, and I'm going to call this first one achievement name, and I'm going to set the variable type to be text. You can find it right here, or you can search for it. It doesn't need a default value unless you want to assign it one. Then you can just pass this in to the in-text on the setText function. The next variable we're going to make is the achievement description, which is going to be put into the achievement description text setText function call. Lastly is a different type of variable. This is going to be the actual image that we want to pass in, so the achievements icon. So we're going to make a new variable. I called it achievement icon, and the type is going to be slate brush. Slate brush. A slate brush is basically an image that we can add. There's more to it than that, but we can just assign an image to it and pass it in. So off of achievement icon image, that's when we call set brush, and the in brush is going to be our achievement icon variable. Now, these are going to be determined from some structure or data table where we get all the data for the achievements, but regardless of how it's set up, we need to pass the data in to the text boxes and the images on the widget. To do that, we can assign the achievement name and description, as well as the icon, when we are creating them. And to do this, your 3 variables that you just made, make sure they are checked as instance editable and expose on spawn. These allow us to change them for each individual instance of the variable, as well as show them as soon as they're being created, so we can pass them in, essentially assigning the value as soon as they're created. Should be like this for all 3 of these variables that you made. This will come into play in a few minutes. Now let's go ahead and go back and make a new widget. This one I've called the Achievement Unlocked notification. So you can make a new user interface, widget blueprint. I call this Achievement Unlocked notification. Now in here it's looking very similar. So if you want, you can copy your elements from your achievement tile, or you could even be creative and use the achievement tile if you wanted to. But I do recommend having a separate widget, because this is going to be the one that pops up when we unlock an achievement in the middle of a game. So I have a canvas panel. Here are my settings. Default. I have a smaller canvas panel that is the same size as the achievement tile with the same settings, but I'll go through it quickly if you want to look at it. The achievement icon image is the same as well, so it's a variable. Here are my positions and sizes. Feel free to slow down this video or pause it if you want to double check, but that should be the same as your image on your achievement tile. We have the text. The text is different here. This is not the name of the achievement, but this is saying that the achievement has been unlocked. So I added text to the canvas panel. I called it Achievement Unlock Text, and I didn't make this one a variable because I don't have to change it. I want it to always just say Achievement Unlocked. So it's anchored to the center, top center. Here are my positions and sizes, my alignment, and I made the text Achievement Unlocked. Here's my outline settings, my font size, my justification. There we go. However, the text that is going to change is the achievement name, but this time it's the second row. Instead of the description, we're using the name of the achievement here. So basically we're just going to say achievement unlocked, and we'll say like party starter, whatever random name we're using for the achievement. So this is another text box. It's basically the same as the description text box, but I changed the sizes a little bit. So if you look at the anchors, it is the top center, so everything is based off of that. Here's my positions and sizes, alignment. The default text says achievement name, my size, my outline size, my justification, and there you go. This one is a variable because it is going to change with the name of the achievement. Lastly, we have the achievement background like we did. It's the same as on the achievement tile, so it's anchored to the full size. It has a Z order of -1, and it is color black. Now, for this one, the only real things we need to set are the image and the text. So if we go into the graph here, we want to get our event construct again, and we want to get our achievement name text and call set text on it, and the achievement icon image and call set brush on it. You know what that means? We need to make 2 variables. We need to make one for the achievement name, which is of type text, and we need to make one for the achievement icon, which is of type slate brush. Make sure both of these variables have instance editable and expose on spawn checked. Once they do, pass them into the set text functions and set brush functions that you added to event construct, and now your achievement unlock notification is good to go. The last thing we need to do is actually trigger this just to make sure that our notification looks how we want. So an easy place to do this is in the level blueprint. We can open up the level blueprint. In Unreal Engine 4, there will be a section here that says blueprints. You select it and select open level blueprint. In Unreal Engine 5, you select the graph and select open level blueprint. All right. And now, ignore this because this is from earlier in the series. You probably have this if you've been following the series. This is how we do our level streaming for the persistent level. I've gone ahead and just added a temporary creation of this widget so we can test and make sure everything is working. So we can call create widget, and we are going to select our achievement unlocked notification. Now, when you do this, you're going to get all the details about this widget that are instance editable and exposed on spawn. We don't need an owning player for now, but the achievement name we can set for what we want. So in my example, I added started the game as my achievement name. Now for the slate brush, it looks like this. You can right click on it and split the struct pin to open up and get all the variables about the slate brush. In here, you can manually go and select the achievement icon image to an image that you want. I selected my green fist icon for my attack icon swap texture here. Then make sure you drag off the return value of the create widget, type add to viewport, and it will be added to the screen, just like I have here. So that means once I launch the game, it will appear on the viewport. That's how we know it's working. Now, if you want it to appear in the bottom right instead of the top left, you can go to your achievement unlock notification, click on your canvas panel here, your child canvas panel, anchor it to the bottom right, set the position for the X and the Y to 0, and change the alignment to 1.0 and 1.0. So now if we launch the game, the achievement notification will be in the bottom right of the screen. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today, so thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and consider joining the Patreon, YouTube membership, or Discord subscriptions, just like so many kind souls have that you're seeing on the screen here. If you had any issues with today's episode or want any help with the series, feel free to join the Discord community. There's a link in the description. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Shawnthebro, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.